To give all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach, Malak Yahushua. Another strong shalom to all of the mighty brothers that go out there and labor on the highways and byways, making their body a living sacrifice. In the rain, the tumults, the demons, the uprises, the uproars, they're out there standing 10 toes down for the name of the Lord. Another strong shalom to all of the mighty brothers that are not out there as of yet, but they're building themselves up, reading, praying, fasting, doing everything they could do to put themselves in a position to shake the hand, to wake up the hopeful elect. Another strong shalom to all of the mighty aquaf in this thing, that actually sincerely reverence their husbands, being teachers of good things to the children at home, being quiet, shamefaced, submissive, loving, steadfast, cooking, sewing, cleaning, doing all of the righteous acts of our foremothers on fire for the Lord. Another strong shalom to all of the mighty aquaf that are not married as of yet, but building themselves up, reading, praying, fasting, doing everything they could do to magnify the ministry. Another strong shalom to all of the mighty children in this thing, abstaining from all lusts and concupiscence and peer pressure on fire for the Lord. And last but not least, another strong shalom to the whole entire nation on fire for the Most High God and his beloved son, Yahushua, in the last days, right? I want to make a quick breakdown, or a quick video rather, on not forgetting the Most High, man. Because, I mean, every day you have work, you got troubles in the flesh, you have marriage, you have children, you have cares, you have body ailments, you have pains, you have afflictions, you have trials. But don't forget the Most High, man. And a lot of brothers forget the Most High and jam the Most High into their schedule, man. Forget to read, forget to pray, forget to fast. They forget the key principal things which keeps you in his truth. Hey, the Most High didn't forget you when he woke you up this morning, man. The Most High didn't forget you when you still know his name day by day to be able to repent and call upon his name. And the Most High didn't forget you to have blood pumping through your veins, a good sense of mind, an understanding of the scriptures, an understanding and a mentality to hate these nations and love your people. So we have to understand, man, when we forget the Most High in our works, that shows how much we care and respect the Most High. This is what the Lord said. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, and verse number 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth. So the Lord is telling you to remember him, man. Because it's only going to take 2 seconds to forget the Lord. All it's going to take is a cigarette being passed, a woman walking by. All it's going to take is a temptation presenting itself before you. All it's going to take is the littlest of demon approaching you to pervert your understanding and seduce your mind. And the Lord said, remember thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh. Because this is the time where we're supposed to be stocking up on faith, understanding, the willingness to serve the Most High, and gaining that relationship and bond with the Lord, so when the latter days, the Lord can protect us, man. If we're forgetting the Lord now, what do you think is going to happen in the days to come? You're going to be carnal-minded. You're not going to lean on the Most High for his protection. It says, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Let me go to the book of Jeremiah. Let's go to the mighty book of Jeremiah, man. Because we used to be fervent for the Most High when we came into this truth, man. We used to wake up on fire, go to sleep on fire. But now we're slowly forgetting the Most High, man. Now, you may say, well, I don't forget the Most High. I know he is. I pray day by day. But, brother, your actions say otherwise, man. If you have a wife and she starts to forget you slowly, imagine if she came home with no food. She didn't cook. She forgot to cook breakfast when you came home for work. So, like, she forgot to cook dinner when you came home for work, man. She forgot to run your bath water. You would slowly think that she's falling out of love with you, man. Or her mind isn't right. Her spirit isn't right. Or you're not one of her top priorities, man. We're the bride of the Most High. And we have to give the Lord everything day by day and not forget him in our works. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, and verse number 2. Go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, thus saith the Lord, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thine espousal. So the Lord said, look, I used to remember you, man. When you used to be fervent for me. When you used to love me. When you used to build and take the trees and get everything you needed in the wilderness for the Feast of Tabernacles. When you came out of Egypt fervent in the spirit, calling upon my name, I used to lead you, and you followed me submissively, and you followed that chariot, which was Yahweh. You understand, coming out of the Red Sea. I remember you when you were younger. Because children, when they're younger, you understand, they follow easily and submissively. Let a 5-year-old be without their mother too long. Let a 4-year-old be without their mother too long, man. Let a 3-year-old be without her mother too long. All hell's gonna break loose. They're gonna be crying, whining. They're gonna be wanting food, snacks. Hey, depending on how young you are, they're gonna want that milk, man, and they're gonna yearn for it. And they're gonna make sure that they knock the damn blinds down, looking through the windows. Where's mommy at? They'll cry, they'll kick, they'll shove, and they'll be in good hands. They'll be in their father's hands, their grandmother's hands. But it's nothing like their mother, man. It's nothing like the provider and the one that nourishes them and gives them the nutrients that they need from their own body. That's the same with the Most High, man. The Most High covers us like a hen does the chickens. And he protects us, he guides us, he gives us everything we need. How could we forget the source of our existence, man? And the source of everything that gives us life and understanding. Verse 2, so like you're reading on. And when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in the land that was not sown, Israel was holiness unto the Lord, and the first fruits of his increase. All that devoured shall offend, evil shall come upon him, and the Lord, saith the Lord, hear ye the words of the Lord, O house of Israel, O house of Jacob, and all the families of the house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me? So the Lord's asking a question, man. What iniquity have you found in the Lord that you're drifting away, man? When has the Lord not been there for you? When has the Lord never answered your prayers on something that you diligently asked and inquired of him, and you were in order, and you were praying, and you were reading? When did the Lord ever depart from you, man? What iniquity can any man proclaim in the Most High right now, man? Speak up right now. Proclaim it before the angels. You understand? And every living creature. No man can do that. The Lord said this, thus saith the Lord, what iniquity have your fathers found in me, that they are gone far from me, and have walked after vanity, and are become vain. So we got to understand, when we have a mentality to depart from the Lord, to make things easy, to flee from our problems and our situations, to not cleave unto the sword, we forget the Lord, man. Hey, think about when the Lord was mad at us. What did the scriptures say? He hid his face from us, meaning he departed from us for a season. Now, when the Lord departed us from a season, what happened? We got put in slavery. We got beat. We got raped. We got robbed. We got destroyed. We got castrated. Our mentality was shackled and beaten. And we're given to false gods, ideologies, philosophies, doctrines, lewd women, and all things that destroy us when the Lord hid his face. But how is the Lord present on the earth right now to gain as much knowledge as you possibly can? But you're hiding your face from the Lord, man. Think how deep this is, man. You're hiding your face from your prophets. You're hiding your face from these videos. You're hiding your face from a fast. You're hiding your face from these holy books and these scriptures that give you everlasting life. You're willingly hiding from the Lord, man. Let me get that in the book of Genesis. That's the same thing Adam did. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 3, and I'm going to start at verse number 7. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons. And that be a lot of the time Jake be ashamed, man. I'm ashamed to pray, man. Nah, not today. I'm ashamed to fast. Nah, brother, nah. The Lord isn't going to hear me. I'm ashamed to read. I'm a hypocrite. I'm just a hypocrite, man. Don't have a defeatist mentality, man. The Lord isn't dealing with what they call it? A sob party or a pooping party, man, or a sob gathering, man. The Lord is against that, man. What man is going to soap and sob in his problems that they may drown him, man? What man is going to stand up in the midst of his sin and proclaim a fast? What man is going to cry out to the Lord and seek him 7 times more? And your flesh may tell you you're unworthy. Your flesh may tell you to depart. You're a hypocrite. You're a liar. The Lord isn't dealing with you. But those spirits are telling you that to pull you further on the dark side, man. To pull you further in the nighttime. That's when you need to go as hard as you can for the Lord, man. The Lord said this, read it on. And they heard the voice of the Lord, God walking in the garden. The voice of the Lord was the prophets. Now the prophets, the same way they are in the ancient world is the same way they are today. Hey, brother, put that cigarette down. Hey, sister, put a dress on. Hey, sister, put a hair wrap on. Hey, sister, dress modestly. Sister, separate from your enemies. Brother, come out of that ideology. Put that idol down. So as they saw Adam sewing fig leaves and aprons, he was taking on the philosophies and doctrines of the other nations, man, to cover his shame. He was hiding amongst the trees. You can't hide amongst the trees, man. The leaves of the tree are the understanding, and the fruit are your works of the tree. The stock is your father's, and the branches are the lineage. So when Adam took the leaves and sewed them together, that's the understanding from these nations, man. So as the prophet of the Lord presented himself from him, what did Adam do? It says, in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord amongst the trees of the garden, man. And you don't want to hide yourself amongst the trees, man. You don't want to be in a situation where you ever feel like you need to hide from the Lord, man. That's what Jonah did. Jonah fled from the Lord, man. We're not fleeing from the Most High. We're not running from our problems and our situations. Let's go to the book of Jonah, man. Let me get this quick precept. Let me get this quick precept. All right, let's get this quick precept. Let's go to the mighty book of Jonah. It's the mighty book of Jonah, right? Chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse number 2. But Jonah arose up to flee unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. Now, he didn't flee because he hated the Most High. He didn't flee because he had some type of vendetta against the Lord, man. On a deeper level, he fled because he knew how merciful the Most High was and that he would have him do all of this for naught. But on another level, you understand, you have to understand that Jonah, he arose and he fled from his problems, man. If the Lord wants you to do a specific task, duty, no matter how hard it is, you got to stick into this thing. You have to endure. A lot of people take off their fringes and go back in the world. They hear from the Lord. A lot of the people, they will take off, you understand, they'll chain, their menorah, their lion, and they'll replace it with an idol. Hey, a lot of people, they'll just willingly hide from the Lord by picking up women and just their lust, man. We can't be doing that in the last days. That's actually idolatry. It says, and went down to Joppa, and he found a ship going to Tarshish. So he paid the fare thereof and went down into it to go with them unto Tarshish from the presence of the Lord. But the Lord sent out a great wind unto the sea, and there was a great mighty tempest, Salaki, a mighty tempest in the sea, so that the ships was like to be broken, man. So whenever you hide from the Lord, is it ever good? Whenever you're slothful, is it ever good? Whenever you don't read and you don't take your responsibilities that a man and woman has in this truth, is it ever feel well for you, man? Or does it always more problems, more stress, more anguish, man? Because the Lord loves you. Why would you flee from your husband, man? What righteous husband is going to do their wife any harm, man? I thought they're supposed to be the rock, somebody to lean on, the protector, the provider, the stay, the one that you can listen to. When we depart from the Lord, hey, we depart from life. Let me get this quick precept, man. Let me go to the mighty book of Jeremiah. Let me get this quick precept. This is the mighty book of Jeremiah. Right, chapter, I'm going to start at 13, and I'm going to read, this whole thing is fire. I'm going to start at 13, and I'm going to start at 10. It says, this evil people, which refuse to hear my words, which walk in the imagination of their heart. So you don't want to be the type of brother or sister that walks in the imagination of your heart. Your imagination in your heart is going to lead you to destruction. And it's going to pull you further away from the Most High when you walk after your imagination. Now, your imagination may counsel you very well in your mind. Well, that's a good decision. You should depart. You had a long day at work. Get some rest. Relax. Don't burn yourself out. Hey, don't think that Satan don't know the precepts too, man. Hey, Satan was quoting precepts. Read Matthew, the 4th chapter, Luke, the 4th chapter. Satan knows you. Satan knows exactly what you want to hear. He knows exactly how long you've been dealing with situations, burdens. He knows what gets you off. He knows what relaxes you. And he studies you. This is a game of chess, man. If you don't think your enemy knows you, what king is just going to go to war with a helmet on and a sword, not understanding the climate, the mountains, the temperature, the time, the amount of beasts, the strategizing, the timid tactics, right? Whether it be in clefts of the rocks, whether they be in mud, whether they be in an ocean, whether they be in a river. What king does not know his opponent to map out how many soldiers he has, man? What king has no understanding about anything? He just goes to war, man. That's how a lot of Jake is. They just put on a helmet, man. I got faith. Or just grab up the sword with no protection to gird themselves. Completely non-unveil Ephesians, the 6th chapter, verse 10 all the way down, and just do their own pleasure, man. Thinking just because they know a precept, they have faith, they could presumptuously go to war against the strongest entity, man, the spiritual demon Satan, on the left-hand side. You have to understand, let me read that again. This evil people, which refuse to hear my words, which walk in the imagination of their hearts, and walk after other gods to serve them and to worship them, shall even be as this girdle, which is good for nothing. The Lord said, man, once your mind departs from him, you're good for nothing, man. You're good for nothing. All of your righteousness that you've obtained, the work that you put in, the time you spent in this truth, it's all for nothing, man. Imagine that. You go to work. You get up 5 o'clock in the morning, drive all the way to work, bust 2 U's, run 2 red lights just to make it on time. Your boss giving you a hard time. You work a 12-hour shift, getting off 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever the case may be. And at the end of your shift, or at the end of the week rather, your boss tells you, you know what? You came in 2 minutes late. You're not going to get paid. All that work you was doing, all that sweating with the shovel, all that sweating with that instrument, you understand, or that anvil, or that hammer, or picking up the trash cans, or picking up the boxes, or stroking a pen, or writing those emails, or whatever you do for work, all of that was for naught. That's how the Lord get down, man. All the work you put in right now, if you're not enduring unto the end with a perfect mind and an imagination toward the Lord, but not secretly departing to be enticed by all of the elements of the world, that's when you'll get your penny, man. That's when you'll get the kingdom. That's when you'll get your crown. That's when you'll get everlasting life. Not preeminence now. Not glory now. Not praise now. The Lord isn't going to praise you, man. Hey, if anything, the Lord is going to make your situation harder to prove you. Any man is going to prove his woman. Any woman is going to prove their man. We proved the Most High. We've done our research. We went into archaeology. We went into prophecy. We've opened up the books. We went into the Russian icons. We went into the Tinsdale books, man. We went into King James Version. We went into the Babylon of Timbuktu. We went into the Bible dictionary. We went into the etymology. We proved the Most High, man. Now it's the Most High proving us. When we stumble into this truth, we had our hand on our chin, stroking our beard hair, with an eyebrow up, like The Rock, trying to figure out if this thing is real or not. And we put our time in. Long nights, sweats, tears, questions, counsels, and the Lord was received in our hearts. Now it's time for the Lord to put us through the fire, put us through the flame. And through all of us proving the Lord didn't depart from us, man. He was right there every step of the way. When we did not know him, when we didn't even know his real name, when we was calling him Yehuda, Jehovah, Yahshua, Yahweh, Yehuidi, and all of these strange names were broken dialects before we knew the ancient name of the Most High, Yahweh, and his son's name, Yahweh Shah. But now the Most High is proving us. And in the fire of us proving, a lot of people can't take the heat. Just like slamming the books down or slamming the laptop down in the midst of taking notes, getting to know the Lord. How disrespectful is that? Let me get this quick precept, man. Right, let's go to the mighty book of Jeremiah. Chapter 16, right, and verse number 10. It says, and it shall come to pass, when thou shalt shew this people all these words, and they shall say unto thee, wherefore, saith the Lord, pronounce of all this evil against us, or what our iniquity, or what is our sin that we have committed against the Lord our God? Then shalt thou say unto them, because your fathers have forsaken me, thus saith the Lord, and have walked after other gods, and have served them, and have worshipped them, and have forsaken me, and have not kept my law. And ye have done worse than your fathers. So the Lord is telling Jeremiah that that generation did worse than their fathers. And the Lord said that you have wickedly departed from me. I'm going to read that again. And ye have done worse than your fathers, for behold, ye walk every one after the imagination of his evil heart, that they may not hearken unto me. So the Lord keeps repeating the same thing, that his people are departing from him. His people are putting him down, turning their back on the Lord, man. They don't think the Lord doesn't have emotions and feelings, that the Lord is just a consuming fire. That's it. Just fire, fire, fire. ICBM missiles, judgment, destruction, and fire. He's not the destruction God, man. He's the God of peace, the God of love, man. He's the God of war. The Lord has many emotions, man. And the Lord loves you, man. And sometimes we need to hear that. The Most High loves you. Yahweh loves you, man. Our fathers loved us. The prophets loved us. Our governors loved us. And all throughout the scriptures, we see one thing, tough love, man. And if you can embrace tough love, discipline, if you can love being got on, if you can love direction, if you can love strength that's not coming out of a hug or a teddy bear or a flower or candy or a rainbow or soft words, then you'll fare well, man. But as soon as it starts to rain and you're uncomfortable or you get pushed to the limit or somebody tells you about yourself and that gets on your nerves to the point where it pushes you out the way and you go into a comfortability zone, well, brother, you're in the midst of the land of destruction. You're in a dark alley and don't know it. You're in a situation where there's no light because there's no reproof and there's no guidance. And you're departing from God, man, and you don't know it. Let me get this quick precept, man. We got to remember these things, man. We can't depart from the Most High. It's too late in the game for that. This 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse number 1. And it reads, now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Yahweh, that, and by our gathering unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in the mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as the day of Yahweh is at hand. So Paul even knew the church in some aspects would be soon shaken in the mind, soon easily to depart, soon easily to flee, or be in an uprising and an uproar. But he said, look, man, don't be soon shaken in your mind. Have mental stability, have strength. Understand that things have to get uncomfortable, rocky, strong. Things are going to have to come to pass, man. He said that you be not soon shaken in the mind, nor troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word. Because these words will trouble you sometimes, man. I'm tired of reading about death. I'm tired of reading about Jacob's trouble. I'm tired of reading about slavery. I'm tired of well, brother, if you're tired of the one thing that's going to give you everlasting life, well, brother, you're tired of drinking crystal clear water that has never been inhabited, nor touched, nor defiled, nor tainted, man. If you're tired of reading, brother, you're saying without saying you're tired of looking at the Most High. We see Yahweh through these scriptures. The Lord isn't going to come down in a cloud, hop out the chariot, present himself with the wind blowing as his fringes blows in the wind with red eyes and woolly hair. Speaking of ancient Paleo Hebrew, saying, rise up, my son, and depart, for this is not your rest. Then you hop in the chariot. He tours you around the world to the chief places that were never seen, and then you go into the third heaven with him. That's not going to happen, man. The Lord speaks to you through the scriptures. If you're tired of looking at this word and you're departing from it, you're tired of beholding the Lord in his glory, man. I mean, you got to let these words and these parables through what I'm speaking resonate with you to the fact that you understand how deep it is when you start to withdraw yourself from God. And a lot of people have a slothful spirit. Now, it may come, it may go, it may resonate for a time or a season. It may be a demon that may hop on you, may flee back off of you. But brother, hey man, you gotta kick that, man. You gotta leave that in the past. You gotta kick your zeal up, man. Let me get this quick precept. Let's go to First Samuel. This 1 Samuel, chapter 28, in verse number 6. And it reads, it says, and when Saul inquired of the Lord answered him not, neither by dreams, nor by Urim, nor by prophets. So when the Lord started to depart from Saul, what happened to Saul, man? He waxed worse. He started to seek witches, warlocks. He entered into sorcery. He started to swear by the Most High God, hunt down his anointed, hate his own son, cast javelins against his son and the anointed of the Most High God, David, the beloved, man, the anointed. He started to have his whole kingdom in the uproar. He had his people not to eat, right, till he was avenged. He slew the Gibeonites in his zeal, going the hell off, man, seeking preeminence and glory. He started to speak for the Most High, words that were never spoken by a prophet, nor by dream, but out of his lust. So when the Most High departed from him, you see how he started to wax worse. Why can we see the Lord depart from people that it wax worse, but we don't see when we depart from the Lord how we wax worse? Isn't that hypocritical, man? Isn't that off? That's like noticing somebody doesn't drink water for a week, how their body breaks down. But we're the main one not drinking the source of water. And we're not identifying how slowly we're starting to break down, but not applying these precepts, but not thirsting after the living waters and increasing the way that we should as Israelites in this truth, man. Now, when the Lord departed from this man, all hell was finished for him, man. And that's the same exact spirit we have to continue to understand it's going to happen to us. And we don't want that to happen, man. Let me get the classic. Let me get Revelation. Matter of fact, let me get Titus real fast. This Titus chapter 1 and verse 16. They profess that they know God. And a lot of Israelites, they profess that they know the Most High, man. They profess that the Most High's in their thoughts, in their imaginations, in their minds. They profess that they know God, but in works, they deny him. Are you applying the precepts? Just because you got fringes and a beard does not mean you're in this truth. God forbid if somebody on this live right now or that watches this video that thinks they're in the truth and they're really not in the truth, man. That's a delusion, and that'll be hurtful. All because you treat the Most High, and I'm going to say this like a call at night, man, from a woman. Picking it up when you want it, calling the time of the night just to get your lust off, reading when you feel like it, throwing the Bible down all week, picking it up on the Sabbath. I believe they call that in the world a booty call, man. I believe when you grab up a woman, because this is wisdom. Wisdom is a woman. I believe when you take it, a woman, and you just, for a exact moment and a purpose, and you put it back down and never visit it again, that's a whoremonger, man, in the world. But spiritually, you have to understand you're picking up wisdom. And you're not doing anything with it but for a season, but for a time, and putting it back down, man. You profess that you know the Most High. If you profess you know the Most High, let it be proclaimed by your works. Your light should be shining. It should be inevitable that you know that you're in the truth by people calling you for counsel, by people calling you for direction, that people are making sure that you're coming to camp, that your spirit is right. And where's that brother at, man? You bringing the ice for the feast day, and do you have the wine? Are you bringing the lamb? How's your family doing? All praise to the Most High. I needed that precept. That was a very good video. These are the things we want to hear in the truth. When we drift away, just start watching videos, start being distant, we put a barrier up between the Most High and us, subconsciously, that demons have built so that it's harder to come closer to the Creator. It says this, but in works deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate, man. So a lot of people are abominable, disobedient, liars, truce breakers, you understand, drunkards, slothfulness, and battle all of these demons, but say that they know God, man. It would be very wise of you to just get on yourself very strongly one day. Hey, man, I've been lying, man. I've been going off. I ain't been reading like that, man. I ain't been praying like that. I'm kind of praying 2 times a day. I don't really want to fast when I fast, and it's becoming a chore. You got to be real with yourself. The more you're under a delusion, thinking that you're close to the Most High and you're really not, that's like a relationship where you hide everything and there's no communication. It's like a relationship that's fake, and a marriage that's fake. Nobody wants to be in that type of relationship. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with the Most High. Draw nigh unto the Lord, for he will draw nigh unto thee, man. Let me get this quick precept. Let me go to Psalms chapter 121. Hey, and quick statement, the Lord isn't always going to be accessible for you to draw nigh into him, man. Quick disclaimer. So, I mean, the day you may be ready, like Christianity, they'll play the organ. You know, when I was in church, I had to be, 12 years old, maybe younger. They used to play the organ, the sad, demonic organ. And they used to say, well, now it's time to come to the Lord. And then he'll put his breath on the mic. He'll fog up the mic. And then the deacons and the ushers, they'll stand throughout the 4 corners of the church, blocking you off. And everybody will put their head down in prayer. And you're supposed to raise up as if the Spirit of the Most High is on you to walk to the Lord, man, in the last days, so-called. And a lot of people do that. This is not Christianity. You don't walk to the Lord when you feel like it. Hey, you better seek the Lord while he may be found, man. You better remember your Creator in the days of your youth. You better cry out to the Most High God, for you cry out and he don't hear you in that day. You better beseech the Most High while you willingly can, because it's going to come a day, a time, and an hour when you need the Most High to be there for you. And if he does not answer your cry, imagine what that would do to your soul and your spirit. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 121 and verse 1. I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. So David didn't say, I'm going to put my head down in the dust, man. I'm going to dwell in misery and sorrows and pains and afflictions, being broke, being poor, not having shelter, or whatever the case may be. This isn't a pity party or a moat party, man. In the times of misery and distress, you look up. That's where the Lord and your blessing is going to come from the heavens. Right? It says this, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, and think about that, man. We serving a God that's always on watch. He's always on call. Now, your carnal friend, he may miss the phone call, man. He may be asleep. You may get that flat tire and he may not be there for you. Not that he hates you or he's not a good friend, but time and chance may befall him, man. It may be his time to be asleep, his time to be at work, his time to miss the call, or his chance to be in traffic, his chance for his phone to cut off, his chance for his battery to die, or God knows what else. So the Most High, he don't slumber and he don't sleep. It says this, behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon the right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in this time forth, even forevermore. So that's the God we serve, man. And we got to boast in the Lord. Stop boasting in your works, man, and boasting in folly, and boasting in how good you are in basketball, and boasting how good you are in football, and boasting how good your damn woman could make the unleavened bread and make macaroni and cheese. We don't boast in folly and madness, man. We boast in our God. And we boast in the Most High's creations. We boast in the works of his hands, you understand? We boast in how the Most High has given us knowledge and wisdom and understanding. That's what we boast in. This the book of Psalms, chapter 106 and verse 13. They soon forgot his works. They waited not for his counsel. So in the wilderness, Israel forgot the work of the Most High, man. And they didn't wait for his counsel. The more you remember the Lord, the more you'll fear the Most High. The more you remember the Lord, the more you'll have respect to his ways. The more you remember the Lord, the more you remember these accounts, so that it can help you out of every situation. The more you remember the Lord, man, the closer you'll feel that connection. And just like any carnal marriage or relationship, you understand when you're close to your significant other. You can speak to your significant other without even opening up your mouth, man. You can give her a look. That look could be, I love you. That look could be, I miss you. That look could be, I can't wait till later. That look could be, you so silly. That look could be, this is crazy. You need to get out of here. You could communicate 7 times over, man, by just a look. And you feel the connection when you're with your significant other, when y'all both are in the right spirit and y'all feel the connection. She doesn't have to tell you I love you. She doesn't have to tell you, baby, we're doing good lately. All praises to the Most. You don't have to say that. What do you think is the same way with our spirits? Certain brothers get up in the morning and they know that they're close to the Most High. Certain sisters get up in the morning and they feel good toward the Lord because their mind is upright. They're thinking upon the precepts. They're applying them. And the Lord has given them a comforting spirit behind that. A spirit of relaxation, comfort, a spirit of closeness to the Lord. When if you're always scrabbling and grabbing and flipping the books and calling this brother and seeking counsel and always needing help, that should be a clear indication that you're not as close to the Lord as you think you are, man. That should go to show you that you're really distant from God, the Creator. Because I'm sure anybody on this live can attest, right, that anybody on this live has felt on fire for the Lord before. Now, if anybody were to tell you, brother, while you're on fire, brother, you're not on fire. You might cuss them out in the Hebrew, man. You might be like, that's bearing false witness. Hey, give me the book. And you're just zealous, man, on fire. And man, I don't got time to talk to a fool. Give me the book of Proverbs, the 14, verse 6, verse 7, all the way down. Hey, give me the book. You on fire. Don't nobody have to tell you. So if you're questioning in your mind, if I'm close to the Lord, if I'm departing, well, brother, you already answered your own question. You already know you aren't. Let me get this quick for you. Let me read that again. They soon forgot his works. They waited not for his counsel. Check that out, man. So wait upon the Lord. This truth teaches you patience, endurance, but it also teaches you that the Lord will always be there for you if you trust in him, man. But a lot of people don't believe that, and they don't understand that. And it's not really in their spirit. They don't actually believe that, man. Let me get this quick precept in the book of Revelation. Right? Might get 1 or 2 more and close out. Just the book of Revelation, chapter 2, and verse, let me start at 2. I know thy works, and thy labor, and thy patience, and how thou canst not bear them which are evil. And thou hast tried them which say they are apostles, and are not, and hast found them liars. And has borne, and has borne patience for my name's sake, and has labored, and has not fainted. The Lord said, and has borne, and has patience for my name's sake. You have to have patience, man. We have patience with our significant other when things aren't going our way because we have hope that things will get right back on the same track, that we may love one another in unity, and that the Most High will bless us. We have patience with our children when they go off, when they're doing evil things, when they may steal, when they may tell what they call a white lie, when they may stick their hands in that cookie jar. We're patient with them. We have to be patient with the Most High, man. Because who is man to throw a fit? Who is man to depart from the Lord and cross his arms? Who is man to depart from his maker? It says this, nevertheless, I have somewhat against thee, because thou hast left thy first love. Brother, don't leave your first love. You haven't known love until you came into this truth. You haven't known what true deliverance is before you knew Yahweh Shai. You may have thought you had a relationship in the world, or a so-called girlfriend, or maybe even a so-called husband or wife. But you don't know what love is until you read these scriptures, man. You don't know what enduring is until you read these scriptures. You don't know what life is about until you open these scriptures. Then you start living, man. You don't start living when you hop off the porch, like they say, when you get your first body. You don't start living when you lay a woman down, man, and take advantage of her. You don't start living when you get your first car or your first apartment, man. It's not living. Or you get your first job. You start living when you bear witness of Yahweh Shai and keep his words, man, and his commandments. That's when you start living. Why depart from life? It says this, remember therefore from whence thou art fallen, and repent. That's why it's good to come outside, get into nature. You understand? It's good to see the wind blowing, to look at the trees, look at the elements, hit the sun hit you. Remember the Most High, boast in his works, pray, meditate. You know, these are things that we need to do as a people, man. We don't need to be locked up in our rooms all day, man, in depressed mode, and just depressed, in depression, battling all type of demons. It's good to smile, man. Don't let anybody take your joy, snatch your crown off, or make you depart from your Lord through stress or any situation. Because, don't think that people aren't pushing you away from the Lord every day. You know? People are pushing you away every day from the Most High. It says this, remember from whence thou art fallen, and repent, and do the first works, or else I will come unto thee quickly, and I will remove thy candlestick out of his place, except thou repent. So the Lord said, look, I'm going to come remove your candlestick. Now, the candlestick is referring to is the church, but on a deeper level, a candlestick is your spirit. And the Lord will remove your candlestick away from you, man. He's done it plenty of times. There's plenty of brothers I know of that has been in the truth that have fallen out the truth because their spirit wasn't upright toward the Most High, man. And they didn't follow the Lord, man. And they departed from him when things got rough and times were hard. But you can't move in that spirit. Right, let me get this quick precept. I want to go to the book, right, of Job chapter 34 and verse 10. Therefore hearken unto me, ye men of understanding. Far be it from God that he should do wickedness, and from the Almighty that he should commit iniquity. So you have Elihu, telling these men, look, straight up and down, be it far from the Most High, that he would depart from you and do wickedness. For the work of man shall be rendered unto him, and cause every man to find according to his ways. So the Lord isn't departing from you or giving you over to demons, philosophies, doctrines. Brother, that's you. Giving you over to slothfulness. Brother, that's you. You're the one to blame. You're the main culprit. You're the one that has to identify with your own demons and stop blaming everybody, man. A man that blames everybody isn't a man, man. A woman that blames everybody but themselves isn't a woman, man. It's nothing more than a demon, a manifested demon in the flesh. Because you can't have the spirit of the Most High and be in a spirit of complaining and making excuses all day, man. Brother, why didn't you read? Oh, brother, The work, brother. You have no idea, brother. Sister, I mean, what's going on? Why didn't you cook? Well, I mean, I raised up the babies. Feast of Unleavened Bread's coming up, and we don't. It's not time for excuses. It's time to take that cross up and put more weight on it, man. And we need to hear that. Stop making excuses all the time, man. I don't want to hear excuses. A brother come to me without a valid excuse, I may leave him on red. I may ignore him, man. I've ignored a couple brothers, man. That said, Araya, you know, XYZ. I don't want to hear that, man. Hey, brother, I had a worse week than you. I didn't say that, but I got a worse week than you. And I'm still doing what I have to do. There's no excuses, man. If thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, man. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure. And make not haste in time of trouble. We have to remember these precepts. The Lord said this, yet surely God will not do wickedly, neither will the Almighty pervert judgment. Who has given him a charge over the earth, and who hath disposed the whole world? If he set his heart upon man, if he gather unto himself his spirit and his breath, all flesh shall perish together, and man shall turn again unto dust. So the Lord is letting you know, man, look, man, man is really nothing. Man isn't anything. We need the Most High. And the Lord said this. Let me get this quick precept. But I know I said I'm going to get two more. But let me get these two quick precepts. Right, I'm about to get ready to close out. Right, let me get these quick precepts through the Spirit. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 39, and verse number 4. Lord, make me to know mine end and my measure, so like in the measure of my days, what it is, that I may know how frail I am. Hey, so the Lord said, David said, man, hey, Lord, Baba Kasha, help me to know how frail I am, that I'm really nothing. That's how we got to know, man, that we're nothing without the Most High. And once we start to forget him in our works and what we do, brother, it's a wrap for us. We're finished. We got to know how frail we are, how dependent we are on the Lord, man. Behold, thou hast made my days as an handbreadth, and mine age is as nothing before thee. Verily, every man at his best estate, altogether vanity, man. So altogether our best estate, in your strength, your honor, your understanding, all the workout you've been doing, you done ate good, your skin's healthy, you took care of your family, you got a big fat check with a bonus on it, you done did all your responsibilities, you done read 7 chapters over twice told, you done did everything you had to do for the week, brother, you're still at your best estate. Vanity in the eyes of the Lord, man. Knowing our place in this world and understanding where our source of everything comes from is going to have us to be more grateful and more compassionate toward the Lord in everything we do. But let me pull this closing precept. And most high willing, man, brothers and sisters have a mighty Sabbath. They cast away the imaginations of man. They cast away their burdens. And they joy in the Lord, man. This is the Sabbath day coming in. The most highest, holiest day that the Lord has ever created. Why give your mind over, your body over, your spirit over to anything but joy, gladness, mirth, remembrance of our fathers, the accounts of our foremothers. It's not time to sulk. It's not time to bow down to elements of this world. It's not time to care about idols. It's not time to do anything but serve the Most High and remember thy Creator, man. Because every thought that is not of discipline, like Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 6, right, verse 14 all the way down, it isn't of the Lord. It isn't of wisdom. It says this. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 2. Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die. For I have not found our works perfect before God. So strengthen these things up, brothers, you know, and sisters that are remaining, that's ready to die. Remember, therefore, how thou hast received and heard, and hold fast, and repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come unto thee as a thief, and thou shalt know what hour I will come upon thee. So right when you turned your back on the Lord and started to eat and drink with the drunkards at his life, and started to dance and have fun, the Lord is going to visit you like a thief in the night and blow out your candlestick. So continue to read, pray, and fast, and show yourself a man in the last days. Show yourself a woman of God in the last days, and a saint of the Most High God. But with that, I'm going to close out, giving all honor and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem Mashiach, wa Malak Yahweh.